I've been wearing a mask since whenever I started wearing a mask, early last year, and I have not had a cold. Now, you can let the boys down there, the MAGA Nation, all that crowd run around and tell you that the mask gives you diseases. They're lying through their teeth. But I have not. I've been wearing a mask. I have not had usually during the course of a winter, I have at least a couple of colds in the fall season. Starting at about early November, I catch one. Then I get another one down around Christmas. Then I get another one sometime late January, another one February. We're in March. I haven't had anything. And it's mainly because of the mask. I may never stop wearing a mask, quite frankly. I may never stop. We were in South Korea several years ago, and this was before the pandemic and any of that kind of stuff. And everybody in a lot of people in South Korea had on masks. I may never stop wearing a mask, quite frankly, mainly because it stops a lot of bad breath coming from other people. And you too, obviously. But it stops a lot of communicable diseases that are affected by aerosol type of communicable disease. I may never stop. At any rate, but it appears that the pandemic is assuaging, but I got news for you. Spring break they're down there in Miami now acting the natural bone fool down there. Them young people, most of them JFIT people too. They got some Hamites down there with them though, college students. Down there in South Beach acting the stomp down fool. I mean, police had to hit them with pepper spray. The Miami Beach police had to hit them with pepper spray. They were jumping on top of cars. I said, who got killed? When I first saw it, like thousands of them in the street, right? I said, who got killed? Look like Black Lives Matter. Look like somebody must have got killed. Why are these young people in the street? And why they jumping, turning over cars? What is going on? Somebody got there and killed another black man. No, son, there's no Rusty Reebok. Ain't nobody dead. They're just young college students down there ain't wearing no mask down there in South Beach. They done gone stark raving crazy down there. And the mayor of Miami said, we're going to lock all you up. We got to put a curfew, got to put up guards. They brought out pepper guns and these are young college students. So now the deal is this, is that, well, of course, they're going to be down there till probably sometime early April, spring break. And then we're going to have another surge. These young people are going to start killing people with their breath, And we got another surge like we did last year in April, May, and June. People start dying all around America because them young people down there, they were down there at where was they? At the beach down there, Daytona Beach down there last year. Yeah. But no, the other thing I think is the difference. I think spring break, it killed a lot of people last year. You think MAGA Nation people who won't wear a mask, don't want to jig it, don't want to acknowledge it. Well, people have died someday, but the real killers are those college students. They're the real killers. I'm telling you. No, I'm telling you. Of the 500,000 people that have died, I can tell you most of them died. At least a 250,000 people died because of people who just refused to not go on spring break and et cetera, that kind of thing. The other thing is that, if you notice the death toll in China, how many people died in China? 300? He called it, Triple H Trump called it the Wuhan flu, the China flu, the Kung Fu flu. But how many people, now China could be lying because they lie all the time. They do. The Chinese government lie up a street. They lie worse than cross ties, and cross ties lie from end to end. Like, I got news for you. Hong Kong, the Philippines, check this out. This will really blow you. This will knock you down. This will pop out you. This will knock you down. In Nigeria, in Kenya, in Malawi, in Liberia, in Senegal, in Angola, and Ethiopia, and in Sudan, per capita, they've only had a few people die in these so-called low-income, less important, less industrialized, less developed nation. People are not dying in Malawi. They're not dying in Kenya. They're not dying in Nigeria. They're not. And they don't have medical. They don't have the opportunity, to go to a doctor at will, hospitals. They don't have that. But they're not dying. What's the reason why? because they don't go on spring break. Damn it, that's why the people in Nigeria and Kenya, Malawi and Ethiopia and Angola, every place else, don't go on spring break. That's how come they're not dying over there. They got a bunch of crazy young people who got too much money and they got no sense, go on a sex orgy, get out of college, and they go on a sex and drinking orgy for 2 weeks because their mama and daddy got money. Their daddy's rich and their mama's good looking. And these young college students go on a sex orgy and then come back and kill everybody. Well, they don't do that in Kenya. They don't do it in Hong Kong. They don't do it in Malawi. And so therefore people are dying. That's right. That's right, my brother. By the way, let me just turn a corner on this whole thing of this COVID-19. And this Astrazeneca drug is a drug manufacturer over yonder in the UK. Over there across the pond in Europe, AstraZeneca, right? What kind of name is that anyway for a drug manufacturing company? AstraZeneca sounds funny to me. Sound like, Anyway, reports were coming out of Europe last week that people who are taking the AstraZeneca drug were having blood clots. I mean, your blood turns into a little BB ball, right? And when it turns into a little BB, it just coagulates, and rather than red running blood, running smooth and running cool, it then becomes a little ball and then clogs up your blood vessel. Next thing you know, you got a stroke. That bad boy, you clog up your blood vessel up in the top of your head, you're gonna have a stroke. And you get paralyzed because that blood vessel gonna stay right there and nothing else will work. Your arm won't work, leg won't work. You got a stroke. Well, the reports were coming out of Europe last week that this AstraZeneca vaccine is giving people strokes. A whole lot of people having strokes. It ain't safe. Now, they just announced this morning, I heard it on the news here in America, that AstraZeneca is 79%, has a 79% efficacy, whatever that means. I ain't taking it. Not me. I ain't taking that one, the Moderna one, the Johnson & Johnson one, or whoever else, Pfizer. I'm not taking any of them. I'm not. Say what they all out there. They got, Krispy Kreme donuts is teamed up with Popeye chicken to try to get people to take the vaccine. They're giving them boxes of Popeye chicken. And Krispy Kreme, I swear. And they tell you, if you can prove you had a vaccine, if you're Hamite, right? Prove you ain't got a vaccine, stop by the local Krispy Kreme or the Popeye chicken, and they give you a free box of Popeye chicken with a biscuit. They want you to take that back. Now, anytime something's up with that, don't you think? If it can offer you, if they say it's going to save your life, but in order for you to save your life, they got to give you a box of Popeye chicken. Something's up with that. I ain't taking it, not me. They say, it'll stop. It definitely will stop people from dying and getting sick and going to the hospital and all that kind of stuff. I heard that. But I ain't taking it, not me. The problem is, let me just say something to you. I don't believe that, I'm not saying that vaccines can't work. The problem is they put this thing together too quick. And the other thing, I have to tell you this, I know all you got to hear me. The thing I don't like about this is that Trump was in charge. Trump had that boy, a bald-headed boy with that beard, I forget his name, a bald-headed old man. The guy that was, Rascal or something like that? The guy was running the Center for Disease Control down in Atlanta. Trump made that boy, he was acting like a little girl. Trump fired all of them. He got rid of Dr. Burke. He was kicking Dr. Fauci around and talking about this hydroxychloroquine and talking about bleach. Let me say something to y'all. Let me tell y'all something. There ain't no way that they can get a vaccine that quick. And Trump talking about warp speed. I don't know what they did to get it. I ain't taking it. The other thing is that, and by the way, do you actually know that they can take me down? They could potentially take me off of Facebook for saying that. Ain't that nothing? I mean, if I just say I'm not going to take it and I say that, I'm suspicious of it, they will take you down off of Facebook. That ain't right, my friend. My brothers, I swear that ain't right. It ain't right. But people just want to lord their power over you like that. So I might not even be on Facebook tomorrow. And they may not let me come back. I'm telling you, I posted up a video once before that said I wasn't going to tell you. They took me down, gave me a week spanking. They were going to put you in jail for a week and let you learn how to take some sense. But but listen, the other thing is this, is that they said that, they're going to put a mark of the beast on this thing where you won't be able to travel out to another country or get on an airplane if you can't show that you had a vaccine. Now, I've traveled to Africa and I took a vaccine against malaria and yellow fever and all that kind of stuff, but these vaccines have been in the works for like 10, 30, 40 years, and we know what the side effects are to them. If, 5 years from now, if the Lord is still letting us live around here, I may take it then but I don't know what the side effects are. This thing ain't been in operation for more than 2-3 months. People could start growing strange hair, 2 eyes, green tongues. I don't know. See, Pastor Manning, I thought you were an educated man. I am. You're not supposed to be operating these kinds of suspicion. Don't you see all the leading black people sitting there with their sleeves rolled up? Even Camelback ain't Black Harris and her Jewish husband, they rolled their sleeves up. Well, I don't know what they put in the people's arm. That's what they said they put in there. I don't know what they put in there. Joe Biden, somebody, Oprah Winfrey, somebody like that. All these people taking the vaccine. Well, let them take it. And listen, I'll tell you what. If they take me down off of Facebook for having said it, then the hell with Facebook. The world is going to hell in a handbasket if you can't just say, But I can tell you this. The other thing is that this spring break business, that all these young people down there in Florida and out down in South Beach, this is crazy. I mean, this is big. They got money to pay. You've been to South Beach. The hotel rooms down there, how much it costs a hotel? Well, they probably get 4 or 5 people in one room, to pay their $500 a night hotel rate on South Beach. But the people just got, these people got too much money. And they're college students too. I tell you what, looking at this, I'm not ready to say don't cancel the college tuition debt. If they got enough money to go down there and spend 2 weeks on Miami Beach, and South Beach too, by the way, not just Miami Beach, South Beach, down there drugging and having sex up the wazoo. And they got money to afford it. They're going to jump on a plane and go back home. Listen, sock it to them. Make them pay college tuition. Yeah, I ain't for it no more. I'm not for it no more. I used to be for it because but now, I just don't understand this. How these people got all this money? And everybody else living in shelters. I don't understand that. Something about this ain't right. But at any rate, y'all pray that they don't take me down for telling you, but I'm not taking that. And what if they say, well, Manning, if you don't have a card showing you've been vaccinated against COVID-19, we ain't going to let you get on an airplane. So it won't be the first time I won't be able to get on something. I won't born with an airplane. I won't born sitting in no damn airplane seat. But they're gonna get, they can get raunchy like that. They that's how they are. Especially that Biden boy. He and that Camelback ain't Black Harris. And, people sticking needles in me. I don't, I told I wouldn't see my doctor. So I got this doctor. He's this Jewish guy. He's a doctor, right? So I said, he's a nice guy. So I wouldn't see him. I go every 2-3 months, I go see him, just to say, I told him when I first started, I said, listen, I'm a pastor, I do a lot of work. I got young men in our church. I work them so hard, even they can't see straight. So, if I can produce enough work to make young men fall asleep, I work very hard. So I just need to have myself checked up, and everything. So he said, okay, just come every 3 months. But he said the other day, he said, you have the shot? I said, what shot? He said, your vaccine. I said, no. And he was, trying to tell me that I should take it. But I said, listen, doctor, I said, I'm doing right. I'm doing pretty good right now. My body knows everything that's in it right now. All the stuff that's in my body, whether it's disease or whether it's health, my body knows it. I ain't putting no strange stuff in there to stop messing with the rest of the stuff in my body. Right now, I'm okay. Right? Everything is everything. Right now, I can still knock down a bull. and outrun Jesse Owens. But I ain't putting and everything, all my blood getting everything. Everybody's getting together, getting along real good. I ain't putting nothing in my body that the rest of my body don't know nothing about. Then we all got to start fighting. And no, I told him no. I said, I'm passing on this one. And that's how that is. At any rate, everybody, I'm the Lord's servant. My name is James David Manning. This is symbolic. It's where Jesus was baptized. It's where John baptized. And so this is not a rebaptism. It's just a symbolic, if you will, act of what we're going to do, being in the water at the place where Jesus was baptized. And what I'd like to do is to baptize today that we would come to terms with the understanding of what God is calling for in righteousness. He's not calling for prosperity. He isn't calling for culturalism. God is calling for righteousness. If we would commit ourselves to fulfill all righteousness. And God has calls us to be persecuted for righteousness' sake, as John was persecuted for righteousness, and so Jesus. I got to tell you that I'll never forget this experience of actually stepping in the water where Jesus were baptized, and where John has baptized so many people. This is such a historic and a powerful, powerful sight. Just to touch the water was so critical. And I'm glad that people got baptized to have that experience. It was a safe experience and a great experience. I'm not even going to change my clothes. I want to just stay in baptism mode until I get back to the hotel. So that's what I want to say. All right.
This has been live from the Jordan River. God bless you all. Peace.
Righteousness. Boom, chakalaka goes right there.
My mother started liking the school and let me come here every single year. It has been 5 years and now I'm in the 7th grade. I still love this school. It has taught me a lot of things about the world and all around it, and let me see things I've never seen before, like me participating in the history fair last year. I would like to give thanks to all my classmates for making me feel comfortable and at home here. Please, to all the new and old parents in the school, don't take your kids out of the school because it will probably be the biggest mistake you've ever made. No matter what type of child you have, this school will shape it into a world's leader. So do yourselves a favor. Oh my goodness. Okay. So do yourselves a favor and keep your kids here till they graduate, and it will change yours and your child's life. Peace and blessings.
Over the years, we have served more than 1 million meals to hungry bellies and hungry people here in the Harlem community. And I wanted you to be able to see that. I want you to see our involvement with youth, our summer youth programs, our courtyard being used as a place where children can be safe, guarded, and protected as they have their miniature swimming pools. And a safe place for children to eat that is guarded, that is protected by our own sense of security, and the wholesome and fresh meals that we serve. We wanted you to be able to see the mission of this church, and we've been doing this for years. Just recently, one of our members, more than a 30-year member of this church, but it hasn't, not one that that you would probably find as members of some other churches with their nose stuck up in the air. But her father is now close to death or very sick in the state of South Carolina. And I said to her, because she doesn't have money, I said, we will buy you a bus ticket, a round trip bus or train ticket for you to travel to South Carolina to be with your father in this time of pandemic. There's very little funding around. There's sickness everywhere. And the thing that just blew me away was she said, as she was talking to Elizabeth, she said, but how are you going to do that? To pay for me a round-trip ticket to travel and give me expense money? And because you got to, Pastor Manning has to feed the children. He has to educate the children. He has to buy school supplies for them. He has to pick them up in the mornings and take them back. And then he's got the ministry he has to take care of, all the bills of running the church, of keeping a major house like our house operational, keep the lights on, how are you going to be able to do that? And she was almost reluctant to take the money because she felt that it would be better served by feeding the children. We gave it to her anyway. But we want you to know that we do a work in this community. There have been a lot of lies told on us. And it's almost unimaginable why some of the people that have lied on us. But I can tell you behind all of it is the LGBTQ community. Hallelujah. They don't want us to be successful, but we are, and we're going to continue to be successful in serving the meals that we're serving and serving the people that we are. And the LGBTQ community will not take us down. They are not going to take our church. Yet they've defamed us. They've written ugly newspaper articles about us. They've marched against us. They've done a whole lot of ugly things. But you see what we have done, and that's not even the half of our service to children and to the needy in terms of our homeless shelters and the things that we've done over the years. And we will continue. And probably the lies and the smears and the ugly newspaper articles and the wicked spirits and the so-called I ain't for the black man, that is not going to go away. I don't expect it to go away. I don't. But I do tell you this, that we will succeed against all of that, for God is with us, and I am his servant.